Aaron Rodgers should retire. It's not because he's a bad guy. It's not because he can't do it anymore. It's because when you make it to this level as a professional athlete, you have to go all in. Tom Brady said it best last year when he retired the first time, right? He said, I didn't know if I could continue to sacrifice and give the game what it deserves and what it needs. Aaron Rodgers, and all players go through this, is on this like spiritual awakening, right? Mm-hmm. And listen, there's so many journeys when we talk about spirituality. I'm talking about this as the athlete's spiritual journey. Mm-hmm. A lot of athletes are defined by the sport. That's why we see a lot of athletes post-career or when a game is taken away from them, suffering in silence, lose everything. Yeah. Because they don't know who they are. They don't even have a plan B. Bro, you'd be surprised how many dudes come in my office, ex-teammates, whatever. Yo, pretty dope, love what you doing. You know, we're talking about guys that got a lot of money, had a phenomenal career, maybe 4 or 5 years removed, and we get to it, I'm like, yo, so what are you doing? I don't know, I'm still trying to figure it out. What you mean you don't know you're still trying to figure it out? You got to know, you should know that actually when you're in high school and college. Because this is just a game. Yeah. And you get an opportunity to make a lot of money in this game. But when the game is taken away from you, for you, it was taken away from you when you were in college. Mm-hmm. You didn't have an NFL. Mm-hmm. But you grew up with NFL aspirations. Mm-hmm. Some guys make it for 1 year, 2 years. Some guys make it 5, 10 years. But eventually it's taken away from you. And when it's taken away from you, you're probably 30, 31, 32, if that.
Young.
Right. So just imagine, and this is the conflict for Aaron Rodgers and why he needs to retire, because he's in a different space spiritually, and the team, remember, athlete spirit, is in a different place. Like, you got guys, man, that's like, yo, I'm trying to win now. I need you here this offseason. That's not fair to them. So if you stay around long enough, what happens is you get sophisticated. I had a coach when I was playing for the Jets one day. I was sitting there with the New York Jets, 2015, had one of the greatest years of my life. And I'm in a lunchroom, and I got a book. I'm reading a book called The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. So I'm at lunch, and I'm reading my book. And then the linebacker coach walks up to me. He's like, yo, B, let me ask you a question. So what's up, coach? He says, when is it over for a heavyweight? I said, heavyweight? What do you mean heavyweight? Boxer. Mm-hmm. I said, when his ass get knocked out a couple times? He said, no. When they get sophisticated. So imagine I'm reading, learning about the world more, because your world is all sports. Mm-hmm. When you make it to that level and you're that great, you're obsessed with the game.
Right, yeah.
Think about that. That's all you think about. Mm-hmm. Remember Aaron Rodgers sitting in the draft on draft day, sitting in the green room, the pain in his eyes, and what he said afterwards, how you gonna make everybody pay? He was obsessed. Yeah. That obsession no longer exists. Right. It no longer exists. You're sophisticated. You read. You start traveling more. Bro, a lot of these athletes, a lot of us, we don't leave our neighborhood. We don't leave our neighborhood parks. You get to the league and you got money, and they can say, Stephon Diggs right now, I've been following Stephon Diggs. He's in Paris right now. He's in Paris Fashion Week. Yeah. Right? You got freaking OBJ a couple of years ago. Him and Von Miller was on tour with Drake. They're going to a different city. They got a house in London. That was headquarters for a couple of months. And then they traveled to all the other cities around Europe. Mm-hmm. What happens is exposure leads to expansion. So now you start thinking about, like, for me, man, mental health is a big thing for me. That's my purpose. Oh, football is my platform. So you start trying to figure out how to bring these two worlds together, and that's when you have to go into these, these darkness retreats. You have to go to Hawaii. You have to go do ayahuasca, right, to go figure some stuff out because you're trying to put these worlds together. Even just having a kid, having a family when you're an athlete, it throws off everything, right? When I first started having kids, it was like, before then it was 9 to 5 in the off season. I can go, I'm working out in the morning. I'm doing all this, my kettlebell work, this and that, and then I'm going to the field. On the field, I'm gonna go do my run. Then after my run, I'm gonna go to this place and go recover. And after I have to go do that, I'm gonna go see the chiropractor. And then after that, I might have a massage therapist come to the crib. When you have, especially if you're trying to be a good father, you're trying to be a good husband, right? You start figuring out like, dang, well, when am I gonna see my wife? I just went through 7 months, you know what I'm saying? And we didn't see each other. So the off season, isn't this what the off season's for? But if you take a break, your ass is done.